Hiya, good morning. My name's Owen. Welcome to the cupboard. So today I'm going to be picking my June TBR. Last month I picked four books for my May TBR and I only read two of them this month. So I'm going to be keeping the two books that I didn't read last month for June as well. I'll go through those books a bit quicker since I did them last video, but those books are Show Me Where It Hurts by Claire Gleason and The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I said I was really excited to read this book, and I am really excited to read it. But I gave it to my mum because she hadn't read it either, and she really enjoyed it. So this is definitely one I'm going to read this month, definitely. So those books I'm going to be carrying on from last month, but I've got a few other books that I'm really excited about. I'm going to tell you about them now. So I'm going to pick three more books for June, simply because two of them that I picked are quite short. So hopefully I'll get through at least a few of them. I said in my last TBR video that TBRs for me are not strict at all. They're basically just a suggestion for things I could pick from. I find it easier to whittle it down a bit, so I'm a little bit focused. But generally, I'll just mood read and see what I feel like. These are the ones that I'm intending to get to somewhat soon. The first one that I'm going to be talking about in this video is this one. It's called No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I really should have looked up how to say his name before I sat down to do this, so I'm sorry, I'll do that. But yes, this one I'd heard about. I think it's a Japanese translated fiction. It's got a really interesting print, really big margins, but I don't know if you can see that. But so I had heard about this before. I think I heard like maybe one person talk about it. That's why I picked it up. But I'll read the back to you. Mine has been a life of much shame. I can't even guess myself what it must be to live the life of a human being. Portraying himself as a failure, the protagonist of Dazzy's No Longer Human narrates a seemingly normal life even while he feels himself incapable of understanding human beings. Obayozo's attempts to reconcile himself to the world around him begins in early childhood, continuing through high school, where he becomes a clown to mask his alienation, and eventually led to a failed suicide attempt as an adult. Without sentimentality, he records the casual cruelties of life and its fleeting moments of human connections and tenderness. Semi-autobiographical, No Longer Human is the final completed work of one of Japan's most important writers, Osamu Dazai, 1909 to 1948. The novel has come to echo the sentiments of youth, from post-war Japan to the postmodern society of technology. Still one of the 10 best-selling books in Japan, No Longer Human is a powerful exploration of an individual's alienation from society. So I imagine it'll be quite a powerful read. Like it says, it's really popular in Japan, so I think it's definitely worth a read. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing what this is all about. Okay, let me tell you about the next book. The next one is actually one my mum has just finished reading as well, and we also found it in that book box I was telling you about. It's called Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. So I read, I think I probably still have it, All the Bright Places by the same author. A long time ago now, well, it feels like a long time when I was a teenager, and then my mum read it after me, and it's one of those books that sort of really sticks with you. As soon as we saw that it was the same author in this book box, she was like, "Oh, we should read that one as well." Like I said, my mum has just finished reading this, and she really enjoyed it. She read it really quickly. It's definitely one that I want to get to quite soon. So let me read the back. Everyone thinks they know Libby Striped, but no one's ever looked past her weight to see who she really is. Since her mum's death, Libby has been hiding, but now she's ready for high school. I want to be the girl who can do anything. Everyone thinks they know Jack Maslin too. Sexy, aloof, and too cool for school. But Jack's swaggering confidence is hiding a secret he must keep at all costs. Be charming, be hilarious, don't get too close to anyone. When Jack meets Libby, their worlds change. Because sometimes when you meet someone, the whole universe just comes into focus. I think this is definitely a YA novel, and I imagine it's going to be quite easy to read. So like I said, I really enjoyed that other book when I was younger, so I'm looking forward to getting back into the author's writing style again and seeing how this one is different from that one. So yeah, there is one more book I want to talk about, and I must admit I've already started reading this, and I'm really enjoying it. So this is called If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I'm I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying this book. Right, I will say, I imagine that this book is an either you love it or you hate it kind of book. It's, I think, it's quite specific in what it's doing, and it's a book essentially about a group of actors in acting school, and it's very heavy on the Shakespeare references. And if you don't like that kind of thing, then you really won't like this book. But though I am an English student, I wasn't like the biggest fan of studying Shakespeare. But something that the author does incredibly well in this book is making Shakespeare accessible. The way that it's incorporated into the scenes and into the dialogue is done in such a skillful way that you really understand everything that's going on in the scene. While they're just reading these like excerpts from Shakespeare, you really understand what's going on within the play, but also what's going on within the character's head in relation to the play. Generally, when they're talking about Shakespeare and also reading Shakespeare, it's in direct correlation to what's going on within the plot. It's so clever. I'm having such a great time reading this. Anyway, I've got ahead of myself again. I'll read the back. Okay. Oliver Marks has just served 10 years for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day of his release, he is greeted by the detective who put him in prison. Detective Colburn is retiring, and he wants to know what really happened a decade before. As a young actor at an elite conservatory, Oliver noticed that his talented classmates seemed to play the same character on stage and off. Villain, hero, temptress, though he was always a supporting role. But when the teachers changed the casting, a good-natured rivalry turns ugly, and the play spilled dangerously over into real life. When tragedy strikes, one of the 7 friends is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police and themselves that they are blameless. So, that's that. I couldn't recommend it more. I'm not finished it yet, so I don't know what the end will be like, but I am having such a thoroughly good time with it, and I'm just flying through it because I'm just like losing time. I'm sitting down to read and I'm just absolutely losing the time. So I'm absolutely would recommend this, even though I haven't finished it. I would recommend this anyway. Yes, of course, because I've started this, I definitely will finish it. You know what I mean? So it's on my TBR, but it is currently getting read. So I've got those other 4 that I'm going to work through this month. Yeah, I suppose that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, or leave a comment if you have any suggestions or you want to tell me what you're reading this month, if it's anything at all. Again, thank you for being here. I hope you have a nice day.